It is the richness of character with which we conduct our business that has made Whirlpool Corporation and our brands trusted names in homes around the world.
They sent the SWAT team out to my house. They surrounded my home. It was my wife's birthday, April 24, 2014. I was taking her out for dinner, an early dinner for her. They blocked off the streets. Nobody can come in, nobody can go out of their home. But the good news was I was not home. You know, that's the good news. And we was driving, we was on our way to Kalamazoo. We hadn't even got to Kalamazoo yet. People was calling, I was getting calls from everywhere. They got your house surrounded. I said, who? They said, the police. I said, who they want? And they want you, I guess. I said, who? I said, what for? They said, I don't know, you should know that. I said, I have no idea. So I didn't want to really spoil my wife's birthday. So we went on and had dinner, and she kind of noticed that something was wrong. And I went to the bathroom and called my attorney, Ted Parrish, and told him that the police have my home surrounded. He said, well, come on in, let's call him when you get here. I said, okay, I'm out having dinner with my wife now. When we get through, we'll come. Just wait there for me to get there. Give me a minute or two. So he waited, and when we arrived there, so they finally got you, huh? I said, no, they finally gonna get me if anything. So he said, well, come on, sit down, let's call him. So he called the prosecutor office and asked him, I heard that you had Pinkney home surrounded. You sent the SWAT team out looking for him. I said, well, you know he's notorious, so he must have done something awful bad. She said, yeah, we got him 5 counts of forgery and 6 counts of letting somebody sign the petition twice. Ted said, forgery? He said, on what? He said, on a recall petition. We get to the courthouse, and I'm laughing and joking with them. I said, y'all did a raid on my home and I wasn't at home. I said, how stupid can y'all be? And we just laughing and we figure, whatever it is, ain't that serious they think it is, because it's a non-violent situation.
You're watching WSBT Channel 22 News at 5.
The man at the center of Benton Harbor's mayoral recall election appears in court Tuesday as the election has been put on hold. Reverend Edward Pinkney is charged with 11 counts of election fraud. WSBT's fact finder Denise Bone did some digging and discovered Pinkney has been in trouble with the law many times before.
So we go into the courtroom, Judge Lasada. He talked for about 15, 20 minutes how terrible I am. I'm the worst person in the whole wide world. There's nobody worse than Reverend Pinkney. This crime is the most terriblest crime we ever heard of. Nobody ever committed a crime like this, I was sure they were getting ready to bring a body out the back or something. He said, well, I'm gonna set your bond at $30,000. And everybody said, for a recall petition? He wanted me to sit over there and like I'm gonna be arrested now. I had the bondsman with me. So the bondsman said, well, no, we're here now to bond him out. So he don't have to be arrested. You don't have to put no handcuffs on him, because consider him bond out. He got mad. He said, I don't want you to have no internet in your house, you or your wife. No internet, no cell phone. I'm gonna put you under house arrest 24/7. We're gonna monitor you from a satellite. And I said, okay, I just want to get out of there, because the way he was talking, it was possible if I hadn't brought the bondsman now, I would have been probably really burnt up. So, bond out, put me under house arrest, had to go get a monitor on my leg and stuff. During that process, I told Tad then, I said, there's no such thing as forgery on a recall petition. I said, you can't, it could be a misstatement. It could be that you made a misstatement by signing, but they don't never do that. They just cross the signature out.
Edward Pinkney is no stranger to election fraud claims. In 1997, he served prison time after being convicted of 5 voter fraud charges, including paying people $5 to vote a certain way in a recall election.
What we want to do, we want to make sure that we get ourselves prepared to fight, because this thing gonna get ugly.
Edward Pinkney is a self-proclaimed political, social, and civil rights activist in Benton Harbor. Some people actually in town would call you a con man. Mm-hmm. And what do you react? And what you use multiple aliases, you use different social security numbers. They say there's a conviction for things like that.
That's enough.
Can you answer those questions, sir?
The trial begins on my birthday, October 22nd. They brought in this forensics guy. And this is the highlight of the whole trial. He gets on the stand. He's questioned for 3 hours by the prosecutor. They put it all up on the video. It's on the big TV. What he was basically saying that it took 2 people to do this rather than 1, which really didn't make no sense because the pen can stop writing and then you use another pen. And he went over there for 3 hours in the courtroom. He went all through it. It would be virtually impossible for one person to do it. So all that's the only piece of evidence that they had that 2 people did. So Ted Parrish gets up there. And the first thing he asked him, who did it? Couldn't 2 people do this? He said, could this been done by, somebody else? He said, yeah. Can you say that Reverend Pinkney did this? And he said, no. And that was the whole case right there. The county clerk, Sharon Tyler, her and this girl, Gail Freeland. Gail Freeland was a juror and Tyler was a witness. And they had been friends for 20 years. They had been in a parade together for 15, 20 years, They lived almost in the same town. Sharon was going dating somebody that they attended a bar together and everything. So we had all that information. That would have made the verdict null and void because she lied. And unfortunately, Judge Sterling Chirac said that they're not going to even dwell on that because they all knew that she was, that they knew each other. There was one black guy almost got on that jury. It was close. And they drilled him for almost a whole day and he didn't break. And all of a sudden, out of the sky blue, he tells the prosecutor and the judge that 25 years ago, me and him was in church together. And that was enough to eliminate him. He almost got on there. It was just that close. It was down to the wire. And they was looking for any excuse, and they found that.
First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT Channel 22 News at 5:30.
A Southwest Michigan political activist sentenced to a minimum of 2.5 years in prison. It's the minimum sentence he could have gotten. 66-year-old Edward Pinkney of Benton Township was convicted of election fraud.
He was taken away in handcuffs today.
Free Reverend Pinkney! Free Reverend Pinkney!
A large group of mostly out-of-town people chanted and held up signs outside the Berrien County Courthouse Monday, protesting the sentencing of Edward Pinkney. Pinkney supporter, Benton Harbor City Commissioner Marcus Muhammad, says the criminal justice system is flawed.
The ruling by the jury reflects that this was a kangaroo court.
As you know, the jury found me guilty. Right then and there, they took me straight out of the courtroom, straight to prison. I wasn't really upset. I wasn't mad. To me, it was just part of being an activist. I took a bullet for the cause. It's for the people.
And there will be a new mayor in Benton Harbor. Marcus Muhammad defeated incumbent Mayor James Hightower tonight. Muhammad won with 60% of the vote.
Now, you might recall back in 2014 that Mayor James Hightower survived a recall petition that a court eventually ruled illegal.